Hey, we back again. Hope everybody having a good New Year's. So I want to talk about more balanced to ounce and George Clinton's involvement. Uh, More balanced to the ounce. You know, George Clinton being who he was, the Doctor Funkenstein, and his ideas, and being where he was at this time in the music industry. He already created his thing, already did his lane. He already had offshoot groups. And so, Bootsy Collins already knew Roger. And so, you know, George gave Bootsy, basically, the okay to, basically come out with Roger. It's kind of like a prodigy to him in a sense, right? But Roger, was already, kind of accomplished in a sense. Um, but Roger uh, was working with the P Funk Camp uh, before this record even came out. Before More Bounce House was created. He was doing work on Funkadelics. I think it was the Electric Spanking War Babies, if I'm not mistaken. And that album had set and didn't come out for like maybe a year. So Roger, had some involvement in that. And there's some unreleased songs too of Roger and Sly Stone and Bootsy and all of them in studio. But when More Bounce was created, it basically came from Funky Bounce that's on the album. Uh, Basically, George took the drums, uh, copied it, pasted it. He did that a bunch of times and cut it, and then redid it again, and all of a sudden, you got this More bounce to the ounce snare, and uh, you know, he basically told Roger, "Hey, you know, this is what you do, and this is how you do it, and you put that West Montgomery thing over it, and this is going to be a hit." Because originally, More Bounce to the Ounce was supposed to be Roger's uh, solo, his coming out uh, solo song. But Roger really didn't like More Bounce to the Ounce. He wasn't enthusiastic about that track. Uh, but I think George Clinton, convinced him and, had some faith in it. And so this basically became, they said, well, it's basically, George said, well, we're going to put this as, you know, Zapp's, the band Zapp, their first single, but in this time, George and Roger was doing Roger's solo album. So when you hear what's that, Maxiacs, when they like uh where it said where you get that thing from the mothership, so Roger and Zap, they was all, came from the mothership, in a sense. So, and he got this instrument from the mothership, and uh but see, Zap's thing was, kind of more like it was like jazz, like this bluesy jazz and this funk thing with it. So, but George was, instrumental in some of those recordings. Roger held his own, of course, uh, on his on Roger's Soul project. They did for the first solo. They already had I Only Have Eyes for You and in the Midnight Hour, but Roger held on to those and basically updated them and did what he did, and put them out, and it worked. But you could tell George Clinton to this day, he's still kind of have a I think he kind of like feel a way about the whole situation with the split with Zap and Roger thing, because he was banking money on that, and then I think it was CBS, they came, and was some stuff going on, and all of a sudden they had Roger's solo album and basically took them and did their thing. But George Clinton was very instrumental in that More Bounce of the Ounce with the creation of it. Putting his quarter in it, and it became a hit. If you talk to anybody from back then, they're gonna say like, they never heard anything like that. Of course, Parliament, Funkadelic was in Bootsy, that that was their thing, but when More Bounce came out, that was a whole different, a talk box and a funk song. Who does that, right? All right, like this video, comment, subscribe. I'm out.